So guys, we are going to actually recreate this imaginary logo that is going to help us navigate through the areas I've taken you through. Now, these areas are going to actually help us create this wonderful logo by using the various tools that are in Adobe Illustrator. This is actually going to give you a step-by-step process on how to create different shapes and how to fill them and how to work with text and other things like I'm going to be showing you. So this imaginary logo is what we're going to use, and it's going to give you a deeper understanding on how to use Adobe Illustrator, because I'm going to be using most of the tools that you'll be requiring to get started with Adobe Illustrator. So guys, moving ahead, we are going to first of all explore tools in the tools panel, and the most popular tool in the tools panel is the pen tool. The pen tool is actually the most popular tool in Adobe Illustrator, and if at all you talk about the pen tool, someone actually thinks about Illustrator, or most individuals have actually related the pen tool with Adobe Illustrator. So there is that correlation, because Adobe Illustrator is used to create lots and lots of graphic illustrations out there, including logos, including illustrations that individuals use in cartoons, etc, etc. So the pen tool has really made Adobe Illustrator very popular amongst so many creatives, especially graphic designers. We need to first of all get to understand that this logo is made up of 3 petals, and we're going to first of all design one of the petals, and then we can join that petal and then form a complete logo. So the first thing you realize is that one of these petals is actually made up of triangles. So the first thing we're actually going to do is to actually create a triangle so that we can join those triangles and then see what you can come up with. So guys, let's jump right back in our Adobe Illustrator file. So guys, to create a triangle, there is a couple of ways you can create a triangle. But my recommended way is by using the pen tool, because the pen tool is very flexible and it's going to help us create a triangle. So in order to access the pen tool, you can hit P on your keyboard, or you can head over to the tools panel. Remember, it's the first panel we are navigating, and look for the pen tool. The pen tool is going to be under the direct selection tool. The pen tool is going to be the third tool on your tools panel. So depending on how you've arranged your tools, because most individuals actually rearrange this entire workspace to actually match their needs. Select your pen tool and then head back to your artboard and find a point, above right here, and make a point. How you can make a point is by clicking. You click, then release. You click somewhere, then release. So the pen tool is going to create what they call an anchor point. An anchor point is just a point in a specific line that helps you actually edit that line depending on that specific anchor point. Now, a line is just a connection of dots or points. So guys, once you've made your first point, you can actually come down right here and make your second point right here. And then you can actually get right here and then make your third point. And then you can close this path, because once you close this path, it becomes a shape. So I took you through these basics in my previous video. These are the building blocks of graphic design. There's line, shape, color, etc. The link is in the description to a video that is going to give you detailed explanation of all these things. So guys, you can close this path. Now, the pen tool is actually going to detect that you're trying to close the path, and it's going to include a very small circle below its icon, which indicates that you're actually completing this path and that you'd want to finish with this path and then continue. So once you click on the first point you had clicked to create your line, then this path will be complete and we should have come up with a triangle. Now this triangle it doesn't have all sides equal. If at all you would want to make a triangle with all sides equal, find a point on your canvas and then click on that point and hold down the shift key and find another point somewhere right here, and then click on that point with your shift key. Look for another point and click on that point with your shift key. Make sure that you complete your triangle. Now, it doesn't matter if you haven't come up with the same triangle that I have drawn right here. It doesn't really matter. The thing is, just come up with something similar so that you can follow along and don't get lost. So guys, we've come up with our first shape by using the pen tool. In my previous video, I talked about the pen tool as a tool that you can use to create organic shapes. These are shapes from nature. You can actually also use it to create inorganic shapes, which are shapes that are man-made. For example, this triangle. So guys, the pen tool has got no limitations, and you can actually use it to draw anything that you want. So guys, the next point I want to take you through is adding rounded corners to a shape in Illustrator. Now, most graphic designers, once they're starting out, they find themselves in scenarios or situations where they would want to add rounded corners to their shapes. Now, in order to add rounded corners to your shapes, you're going to have to use the direct selection tool. Now, the direct selection tool is below the selection tool. And just like its name, it directly selects points of your shape or maybe of your line so that you can edit those points. Now, for us in our case, we would want to make this triangle have rounded corners because we are actually going to use it in our flower. And as you can see, most of these petals have rounded corners. So guys, in order to make this triangle have rounded corners, make sure that you have it selected, and you can select it using the selection tool. Now, the selection tool selects your elements that you're using in your design in Adobe Illustrator. So just like its name, in order to use the selection tool, just click on the shape and it will be selected. You can also drag your mouse like this over the shape and it will be selected. So guys, now once it's selected, the next thing you're going to have to do is head over to this direct selection tool, or you can actually hit A on your keyboard in order to get this tool. Now, once you click on this tool, you will find out that these anchor points, I told you an anchor point is a point on a line that enables you to edit that line. It's that simple because lines will always have those points, and you would want to actually play around with these points to adjust them in your graphic design so that they can match your needs or they can match your demands. These points have been activated, and that we can actually drag these points inwards in order to make these sharp corners of this triangle rounded. So guys, make sure that you click, hold, and drag. You get click, hold, and drag until they are a bit rounded. Now we actually have got our triangle with rounded corners. Now, this is how you can actually add rounded corners to all shapes. Now, you can actually also do the same thing if at all you'd want to get those sharp corners back. Make sure that you just drag the point outwards.